Vogel.
I hope so, because I never talked to Tim Sally. It kind of upsets me, like, if he's my lawyer, then why am I not going to talk to him, you know?
I don't know how much money he makes. You know,
That doesn't get paid by the people.
let's get paid somehow.
I know John Keane makes pretty good money.
Yeah, I saw that the coffee place yesterday. I didn't even Parker was all talking about it, and I was like, I didn't realize it was a time. Ah,
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize it all.
I realized, yeah, I didn't realize who it was after a while too. I thought he looked like a totally other person until I actually saw him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
When they actually start, I'll probably just leave you in here.
You see me, Miss Cantu?
Yes.
Okay. Let's come in.
The Dallin County case?
All right.
Hello?
We have Ms. Cantu on Zoom. So this is, Cantu's case we're calling? Yes. Kylie Kendall Cantu. No, it's not her. She's with-
We do have the paper. We do have a copy.
I'll go ahead and sign it in the queue, but it's nice to have. It's the same, and there's no difference between this and what's getting. The court will now call case number 4943, the state of Texas versus Kylie Kendall Cantu Escoto. Is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Is defense ready to proceed?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Ms. Escoto, can you be your attorney?
Yes.
Right, ma'am, for the record, are you Kylie Kendall Cantu Escoto?
Yes.
Ms. Escoto, you have been charged in case number 4943 with the offense of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1 in an amount that is a state jail felony. That means it's punishable by a term of confinement in the state jail division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term not to exceed 2 years or less than 180 days. In addition, the court can assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. Ma'am, you have been charged with this offense by an indictment. Do you want that indictment read to you, or do you waive the reading of that indictment?
I'm gonna waive it.
All right. Ma'am, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Then I will ask you how you plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
I'm sorry,
Guilty.
can you say that again?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Mrs. Scotto, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone pressured you or threatened you to get you to make this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Mrs. Scotto, I have some documents in front of me. I know you can't see them from where I'm holding them, but they're titled Felony Plea of Guilty, Waiver Stipulation, and Judicial Confession. Have you gone over documents with this title with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you, Mr. Seeloff, can you show your client that signature? Hold it up close enough to the screen. Mrs. Scotto, is that your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Scotto, by signing this document, are you telling the court that you believe you understand everything that's in these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by signing these documents, you're waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you're telling me that all of the evidence the state has against you is true?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mrs. Scotto, this is an awkward question, but do you believe that you're mentally capable of understanding everything that's going on here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Seeloff, have you consulted with your client and advised her of her rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe her to be mentally competent?
I do, Your Honor.
And do you approve of her signing these stipulations before the court today?
Yes, Your Honor, and we also waive jurisdiction.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. This is a Dallam County case. Mrs. Scotto, just for the record, as your attorney has just stated, do you have any problems with all of us being present in Moore County while we're hearing this plea?
No, Your Honor.
And do you have any problems with you being present via Zoom at this plea hearing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. As I've said, I will approve these stipulations and I will enter them into the court's record as State's Exhibit Number 1. Done. Mr. Cook, is there a plea agreement in this case?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state has agreed to recommend to the court that the defendant be placed on deferred adjudication community supervision for a period of 3 years, $1,000 fine assessed against the defendant, payment of any court fees and costs, and the bill of costs attached to the judgment to be paid by the defendant, and $180 in restitution paid by the defendant to the Texas Department of Public Safety, Your Honor.
Mrs. Scotto, you've just heard the Assistant DA announce a plea agreement. Was that the plea agreement that you reached with him?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And do you confirm, Mr. Seeloff?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Scotto, I will follow the recommendations of the District Attorney's Office, and I will defer or put off a finding of guilty in this case, and I'm going to defer that finding for 3 years and place you on probation, which is called in this case deferred adjudication. And so long as you follow all of the rules and regulations of probation, this case will be dismissed. However, if you fail to follow probation's rules and the state can prove it, then they can ask me to sentence you, and I can sentence you to anything up to the full 2 years in state jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm also ordering you to pay a $1,000 fine and $180 in restitution to the Texas Department of Public Safety for testing the drugs in this case. Ma'am, are you in custody in Dallam County?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
But Ms. Ortiz, are you going to meet with? Oh, Katie's online. Excuse me. All right, Ms. Escoto, Katie Koch is our probation officer in Dalhart. She is going to come over to the jail and meet with you. and she will go over all of the rules and regulations of probation with you. Please ask her any questions that you have. And please, above all, in my opinion, the two easiest rules to follow are report every month and pay your fees. There are more people who are revoked for those two things than any other offense. So I urge you to talk to Ms. Koch, ask any questions, and keep in touch with her about what's going on. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm also going to ask you, have you been satisfied with your representation by Mr. Seeloff?
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, Your Honor.
Has he done everything that you've asked him to do?
Yes.
All right, Mrs. Scotto, court will conclude this hearing. Just wait for Ms. Koch. She'll be there to visit with you, I'm sure, sometime today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.